Why teens stop trusting their parents rarely starts with rebellion. It starts with silence. Not the loud kind, not slammed doors, not arguments. The quiet kind. The kind where answers become shorter, stories stop being shared, and emotions get locked behind a neutral face. Most parents think trust disappears because teens change. Psychology shows something different. Trust fades when a teen realizes something important. Their inner world is no longer safe to reveal. At first, teens try. They explain. They open up. They test vulnerability. They talk about school, friends, fear, confusion, dreams that don't fully make sense yet. And what they're watching for isn't advice. It's response. Do you listen, or do you correct? Do you ask questions, or do you jump to conclusions? Because to a teen's nervous system, how you react matters more than what you say. One dismissive comment can undo 10 supportive ones. When a teen hears, "You're overreacting," "You don't understand yet," "This is nothing," what they actually learn is this: their emotions are inconvenient. Psychology calls this emotional invalidation, and the brain records it as danger. Not danger like fear, danger like withdrawal. So the teen adapts. They stop explaining feelings. They stop sharing struggles. They stop trusting reactions. Not because they don't care, but because they care too much to be hurt again. Another silent break happens with judgment. Not obvious judgment, the subtle kind. The raised eyebrow, the disappointed sigh, the comparison to someone else's child, the tone that says, "You should be better than this." Teens are neurologically wired to be sensitive to social evaluation. Their identity is still forming. So when parents become critics instead of allies, the teen's brain switches from connection to protection. They don't argue, they retreat. Trust doesn't explode, it leaks. Control is another turning point. Many parents confuse control with care. Rules feel like responsibility. Monitoring feels like love. But to a developing mind, constant control communicates a different message. I don't trust you. Phones checked without warning, messages questioned, privacy invaded in the name of safety. Psychology shows that autonomy is critical during adolescence. When autonomy is blocked, connection weakens. A teen who feels watched doesn't feel guided. They feel managed. And people don't confide in managers. They comply or hide. Then there's the issue of emotional safety. Teens pay close attention to what emotions are allowed. Anger, usually punished. Sadness, often minimized. Fear, sometimes mocked. So they learn emotional editing. They show what's acceptable. They hide what's not. Eventually, silence feels easier than misunderstanding. Another trust fracture comes from inconsistency. One day calm, another day explosive. One moment supportive, next moment dismissive. The teen never knows which version of you they'll get, so their nervous system stays alert. Psychology calls this unpredictability stress, and stressed minds don't open up. They conserve. Then there's the absence of accountability. Parents expect teens to apologize, to reflect, to take responsibility. But when parents never apologize, never admit mistakes, never repair emotional damage, the teen learns a painful lesson. Power matters more than fairness. That lesson doesn't create respect, it creates distance. Because trust grows where humility exists. Comparison is another silent killer. You used to be better. Why can't you be like them? When I was your age. To adults, it's motivation. To teens, it's erasure. Their individuality gets replaced with expectation, and the brain responds by disconnecting. Teens don't stop trusting because parents are bad. They stop trusting because parents are human. And humans forget how powerful their reactions are. One sarcastic laugh, one broken promise, one private moment shared publicly, the brain remembers. Psychology shows that teens don't decide to stop trusting. They adapt to survive emotionally. They still want connection. They just don't believe it's safe. So they talk less, share less, ask less. And parents misinterpret this as attitude, as disrespect, as secrecy. But it's actually strategy. A strategy to avoid shame. A strategy to avoid disappointment. A strategy to avoid emotional pain. Here's the part most people miss. Teens don't stop loving their parents. They stop feeling understood. They don't want perfection. They want presence. They don't want lectures. They want listening. They don't want control. They want guidance. Trust doesn't come back through pressure. It comes back through consistency, through calm reactions, through curiosity instead of judgment, through accountability instead of authority. Trust returns when a teen feels safe being seen again. Not corrected, not fixed, seen. Because psychology is clear about one thing. Silence is not defiance. It's self-protection. And when teens stop trusting without saying a word, they're not pushing parents away. They're protecting the parts of themselves that once reached out and didn't feel held.